Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are working on the rat rod today. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. But we're unloading it today. We got back from Florida and I'm very excited to get some more work done on the rat rod. We had some issues and I really want to address them. So when we got back home, all we did was pull into the yard and get out, grab our bags, grab the food, and she's been sitting for the last 2 days. So we're gonna go ahead, pull everything back out of the yard, get the rat rod pulled in and go over some stuff. We got to do some tune related things, and then we also got to work on the steering, as you guys saw in my video. We really needed to work on that, so that's what we're going to be working on. It's a little ladybug. Also got a flat tire. Tire's kind of sad looking. She did good. She got rained on though. So I didn't do a whole lot of insight into after I unloaded the rat rod. Let me go over stuff that we're gonna work on. The engine saw a lot of heat. The temp sensor goes to 270 degrees and it maxed that out. We really don't know how hot it got, but we know it got really hot. We did a compression test of just turning it over by the starter on the engine, and it was a lot lower than it was when I've done it previously. But I also put a different cam in it. I put a turbo cam in it, so the overlap could be affecting that. And it never ran bad. So the only time it ran bad was when it was at the top end in the burnout contest, and we could see in the data log that the feeling wasn't right. You can see that there's fuel coming out the cylinders and it was just shooting flames and everything. The oil doesn't really look too bad. It has a little fuel in it, so nothing too bad there. The main consensus is I need more power. I love this small block, I love the turbos. We're not getting rid of this small block as far as the channel goes, but I think it's an end of an era for the rat rod. These next couple clips that you're gonna see, I go over to Hooper's Heads. He's been a long-time supporter of the channel, and I have to shout him out. I really appreciate everything that him and Jacob have done for the rat rod, and they're just very supportive. We have a brand new set of 243s that they CNC ported. They put new valves, new springs, they did them upright, and I was kind of talking to Hooper after the event, and he said, man, how'd it go? I said, it went good. We really need to have more power. This small block is stock and we're running like 5 pounds of boost. It's just not a whole lot of power. To get these tires to spin in third gear, which is what you need to win these events, you need more power. And he was like, well, man, I got a LS. I was like, yeah, that's cool, you know, and I had planned on building an LS, just working at LME, you know, but as far as buying one right now, I can't afford to build a new engine right now. It's a lot of money. Hooper has a short block out of a Tahoe or Escalade or something, but it's a 5.3. It's got flat top pistons. It's a Gen 4, so it's got the better rods of the stock stuff. And everybody knows that you can spray those quite a bit. So working at LME, me and Tanner, you're seeing these other clips, tore it down, we cleaned it up, and I'm gonna have some of the guys help me at LME putting it back together. We're gonna gap the rings, try and make this thing live a little bit longer. We're gonna use our sponsor Nitrous Outlet, teamed up with Hooper's Heads, and we're gonna build it at LME. So all the sponsors coming together and just making the rat rod come whole. We're gonna do an awesome engine. I'm hoping to have around 600 to 700 horsepower on spray. That is way more than I got now. I'm maybe pushing 400 with the turbos and everything, probably closer to 300-ish. So having that much horsepower to play with and the torque of the nitrous and everything, it's really going to give us an advantage. And turbos are just too quiet. These burnout contests are not always about power. They're mostly about putting on a show. What do the crowd think? The turbos are cool, but the crowd doesn't think that they're loud and it's not obnoxious. You got to put on a show. So we're going to put zoomies on this thing, and we're gonna run the LS 5.3. Like I said, I'm gonna be a 5.3 guy. I'm not crazy excited about that because usually 5.3 guys are cheap, but here I am, I'm cheap. So Anyway, that's the plan, and in this video you're gonna see me and Tanner going through the LS and getting it ready for the rat rod. I know I'm doing a lot of talking, but that's just kind of what this video is. What are we doing for the steering? Well, let me tell you. As you can see, this tire is completely disconnected. The biggest issue that I have is the tie rod broke, and it didn't break off. I unbolted it here, but it was just wore out. The tie rod had so much play in it that the tires could just have so much toe in and toe out. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do something similar to the Jeep. You guys know that the Jeep, when we did it, if you watched any of my past videos, maybe some of you guys are new. If not, go back and look at this video right here. The Jeep, we used a Rough Stuff Specialty steering kit. And with that steering kit, I can ram my big tires into rocks and all sorts of stuff. And it's a beefcake steering setup. You can't break it. I mean, I say that anybody can break anything, but I mean, it's a very sturdy system. I'm not doing anything crazy with this. I guess maybe I am pushing up against a wall or something, but I still didn't technically break anything. All this stuff is just really wore out stuff that got cobbled together. A lot of people are not a huge fan of the Volkswagen setup. Well, only thing that I have to say about that is most all this stuff that's not working is stuff that is cobbled together to make the Volkswagen stuff work. So all I need to do is make stuff. I just need to make a system that benefits the Volkswagen setup. These Volkswagens didn't come with a rack and pinion. I have a rack and pinion in there. And when it was fabricated, the rack's not in a perfect position, and there's a lot of stuff that's not in a good spot. Anyway, rambling on. We're gonna do something similar to the Jeep. I'm gonna run one bar with heim joints on each end, very sturdy heim joints. They said they're rated to 40,000 pounds. Way more than what I need. Anyway, so we're gonna run that bar from spindle to spindle. Running that bar will keep the toe exactly where it needs to be. I can adjust the toe. We can do a very nice alignment. This thing's never been straight on the front, so this is gonna be really beneficial. From there, I'm gonna run one side of the rack to one spindle with another heim joint, just like the Jeep. My hopes is that that will keep both wheels in line. Now, thinking about it, if we do have suspension travel, it might pull it left or right, depending on how it's gonna work. That being said, there's not a whole lot of travel on this front end, especially when I'm doing burnout contests. I have a lot of stuff fixed on this. So what I'm also gonna probably do is throw a sway bar in the front to try and limit singular travel left to right, because that could also mess with stuff. Because if you don't know, on the Volkswagens, it's not an A-arm that goes sideways like most cars. These A-arms go front to back, like this. So it's a lot of stuff to think about. I don't want to give up on the Volkswagen front end yet. I know there's thousands of ways to do it. Rat rods use straight axles. A lot of people use Mustang 2 front ends. I totally understand. They're way better of a setup. I'm not saying this is a better setup. I just don't want to give up on it yet. When I first built the rat rod, me and Dad worked on this thing. We pulled the beam out of a Volkswagen out of our yard. We put everything together on this thing with what we had. And I just don't want to give up on it yet. I'm not saying it's going to be permanent forever, but I can't give up on the idea of having a Volkswagen front end yet. It's not yet. Maybe in the future, but just not yet. So we're gonna work on it. We're gonna get it figured out. And if we don't, then we'll move to something different. I'm thinking maybe a Mustang 2 front end would be kind of cool, and it would really make this thing handle amazing. But we're gonna try this first. I'm also gonna do a new kingpin setup and a new link pin setup. So the next video, we're gonna go through all of that. This video is just kind of telling you guys what we're gonna do and showing you the new engine setup, because that is going to give us all the power that we need for these burnout contests. All right, back to LME, getting this LS tore apart, cleaned, and ready for assembly. Hell yeah. Nice. That's good there. You can drop it right there, and then, yeah, it'll slide. Hell yeah.
Okay, up. Everybody needs to work. That's our house.
I agree. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Big thanks to Hooper and Hooper's Heads. Freaking just sponsored a short block for the rat rod. 5.3 stock deal. Completely fine though. That's gonna freaking rip. Dude, fucking short block, LS. Finally making the switch. Of course we're gonna run their CNC ported 243s as well, you know, of course. Oof. Oh dude, you do have a strap.
I do.
Wow. Nice. Can you believe that, dude? Hooper freaking gave us an LS, man. Alright, I don't want you guys judging. It's a little dirty. Got 100,000 miles on her, but we're about to put about 3 really hard miles on her. Those miles are gonna be way harder than that 100,000 that she ever had. But we're gonna go ahead and pop some new lifters in here. We're gonna do some cool stuff with this thing. We're gonna spray the dog shit out of it with some nitrous. Fuck this guy. What are you doing, buddy?
Tearing shit apart.
Tearing shit apart? What are we tearing down?
Somebody found an LS 5.3
Whoa.
with flat top pistons.
Oh, wow. Flat tops, huh? So you're just tearing her down, huh?
Yes, sir.
Look at that. That's real nice. Will you keep that?
Yes, sir.
No, we're not keeping that.
Yes, we are.
No,
we're running it just how she is.
No,
She'll do
that's
just
good.
fine.
That's not going to hold up to 10,000 RPMs, all right? If we're going to be doing 6 seconds and a quarter mile at 10,000 RPM, we're not going to be able to use the factor balancer, buddy. You know what I'm trying to say? We're trying to make over 1,000 horsepower with $500. That's how you do LSs. You spend $500, you make over 1,000 horsepower, and you have a 6-second car.
Yep.
Yep. That's how I saw it on YouTube. So.
That's yeah. That's what YouTube said. So.
No. In reality, Hooper over at Hooper's Heads had a spare 5.3. And we are tearing it apart. We're going to go through and clean it. It's been sitting in his garage for a while, and we're just going to go through and work on it. I'm going to completely have all the guys here at LME help me out with building it. It's not our normal stuff that we do at LME. This is junkyard stuff, and I'm just doing it on the cheap. So if anything happens to this in the future, it has nothing to do with LME. It is completely on me, because we're just throwing this together with a bunch of used parts just to go out there and have fun. Just want to put that disclaimer out there right away. But LME is badass. If you want an awesome motor, make sure you give me a call. I'll walk you through everything that you need to do. We'll build you an awesome motor. Anything from 500 horsepower to 3,500 horsepower. Anyway, back to the build. This thing is a 5.3. We're taking it into Gen 4 block, so it's the good rods and everything. We're going to go ahead and pull all the lifters out. We're going to tear it all down. We're going to put it in a cleaner over there and just clean the block up. But something that we're also going to do, we're going to put LS7 lifters in here. I already have a set of 243 heads from Hooper that he has ported. So we're going to do that. We're going to throw a nasty cam in here, put some zoomies on this thing, and it's going to be the best burnout rig ever. Right, Tanner? Yeah.
We'll do our best.
We'll do our best. But when we take these out, we're going to pop the rings out and gap those, because we're putting nitrous to this bad girl. time-lapse camera died, but we got her all tore apart, got the crank out, got the rods, pistons, everything's all tore out, and everything looks great. All the bearings look good, the crankshaft looks good. It's just build up on here from being an old engine, so nothing crazy. We'll clean it up some more once it's time to assemble it, but we're just gonna pull the rings off in assembly, gap the rings, and put everything back together. We put a new oil pump on here, put a new guide instead of the tensioner because tensioners are junk. I got an electric water pump that I'm gonna run, so that'll be nice.
Get this thing line honed for you. That way everything's straight. And get you some crosshatch in here that's not factory junk.
Yeah.
So that is not very much of a crosshatch. It's just...
Yeah, we're gonna clean up the cylinders a little bit. We got a little surface for us. We're gonna dingleberry those. Dingle ball hone, dingleberry. all these look good. All the bearings look great. So we're gonna hot take it, clean it, and be good to go. Oh baby, clean, clean, clean.
Clean, clean, clean.
All those parts cleaned up pretty good, dude.
They look awesome now.
Only thing that's dirty still is the pistons and everything, but the pickup tube is all like brand new. Front cover, rear cover is like new. That cleaner does a nice job, for sure. Block doesn't look too bad either. It's old and stuff, but I mean, it's all clean now. There's no more grease or anything. ATF all the cylinders and stuff, so we don't get no rust from anything, but yeah, she looks pretty good. Well, if you guys are still here, I really appreciate it. I have a lot of videos that we've collected over the days, so if you want to see some more videos, go over to my channel, hit subscribe. Appreciate you guys for watching.